All right, welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. It's Wednesday, and here we are again live. So I'm glad there's a ton of people in here, piling in early. So I'm going to try to get to everyone. And today I will be joined by Steve Sex Summers of the band Pretty Boy Floyd. He will be here, and he'll take your questions. This is your time to shine, because I have prepared absolutely nothing. So it's all up to you guys. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a few other things, a whole bunch more right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody I'd rather waste time with than you. You know what would go good right there? A sponsor. That's what we're missing. A sponsor, a brand new sponsor, somebody who wants to get their message or company out to, millions of viewers and well over 10,000 subscribers. So if that's you and you've got something to sell, well, hit me up and maybe we can talk about it, because it's so silly that I send it off to a little theme song and then I come back and there was really nothing after that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. Anyway, Steve will be here in just a little bit. I think he doesn't like to be called Steve Sex Summers, but in the first Pretty Boy Floyd album, The Leather Boys with Electric Toyz, that's how he's billed. And so I'm having a little fun. But he's going to be here. I believe he's joining us from the road. He is on tour right now, I believe. He's a man of mystery, an international man of mystery, because Pretty Boy Floyd has a lot of foreign dates come up. But we'll chat a little bit before he gets here. Give you some time to think about your questions. What do you want to know? This is and I'll tell you, the guy doesn't do interviews. My interview on this channel was the first one he'd done in 5 years. So he's willing to open this up. And last time he did it via the telephone. And this time, I think we're going to get a good look at him. You know, this is a guy who takes glam serious. And so if he doesn't have his outfit and things, maybe he's not going to appear. But this time, I think he's ready. Excuse me while I have a drink from my Stephen Piercy mug. I was on the road with Stephen Piercy this past week in Ohio. I think it goes by fast. Maybe I think it was Ohio. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I think we were near Columbus, or we flew into Columbus. Anyway, it was a good trip. The night before, the Bullet Boy and Winger performed. I used to work with Winger quite some time ago, so it was nice to catch up with some of those guys. And as many of you may have heard, after the show, a packed show, 2,000 to 3,000 people, outdoor venue. But after the show, Stephen Piercy's guitar player Eric Ferratinos suffered a heart attack, and thankfully he is okay, and he is a stronger guy than I would ever be. He had 3 stents put in his heart within an hour of this going down, and he was on the phone and talking to me before and after. He sounded fine. I would have milked this. And I would have cried like a bitch, and I would, but not Eric. He also wanted to make sure that everybody knew that he would be playing. So those musicians out home who are brushing up on their Rat songs, no need. Save it for another version of Rat. Eric will be there at the next show, which we are going to in Kentucky. That I know, because I was on the phone advancing it today. And that show is Bullet Boy. And by the way, Mark Torrance says he's going to come on the show. I believe when I see it, but I'd like to have him, let him give his side of things. But it's them, Kicks. I like Kicks a lot, and Quiet Riot. Those guys. I think they might be mad at me. I don't know, but there's a lot of politics in the rock and roll world, I suppose. But anyway, Quiet Riot will be there. And Jizzy Pearl's been on this show, and Johnny Kelly's been on this show, and then Alex Grassi and Rudy Sarzo have not, but they make up Quiet Riot, and then Stephen Piercy, and so it's going to be a great show. So anyway, I wanted to address that, the Eric's health, because he was he was able to jump back fast, but it was a scary moment, and some of that you'll see in tour diaries, I guess, down the road, and hear more of that story. I wasn't going to say anything, but he was public about it, and so the fact that he was public about it, I didn't feel bad talking. But scary moment, and listen, I'm a diabetic, and I've had some issues, and my doctors want me to take heart medicines and all these things, and it's scary. Eric isn't too far away from my age, and yeah, so we all got to take care of ourselves, right? Okay. Anyway, coming up this Friday on the show, Andy McCoy from Hanoi Rocks. Now, if you guys are Hanoi Rocks fans, this is the show for you, because we had Sammy Offa, then we had Nasty Suicide, now we've got Andy McCoy, and then I'm proud to say the following week, Michael Monroe will be right here on the show. That is the 4 classic lineup members, because the original drummer's name is Chip Casino. I'd like to have him on here too, but the classic lineup, the lineup is famous. The 2 Steps from the Move lineup, these are the 4 surviving members, and we're trying to find out if I can get them to get back on stage. I'm working on it. I'm doing my part. There's not many bands left like this where all of the legends are. Look, the original lineup is alive, and Andy McCoy tells me what it would take to get back together, what he wants, what he expects, and who he wants to be there. He tells me that in the interview on Friday. Tune in. If you're a Patreon, you can watch it later tonight. Patrons watch everything first, and the link is in the description for that. So, and then Michael Monroe. And also, if you're a patron and you want to ask Michael Monroe a question, you can do that. Patrons get to ask questions of the guests. So if you sign up for the appropriate tier, link in the description now, you can ask a question of Michael Monroe. Andy McCoy has already been filmed. So we're going to, and again, Steve Summers will be here in just a little bit. So that'll complete the Hanoi Rocks section of the show. And then we've got a lot of other cool things in the works. A lot of surprises, actually. It's never a dull moment. Many of you might not realize this is my job. I do tour manage Stephen Piercy, and I do have a dabble in other things and play my own music and stuff like that. But this is the core of what I do, and it takes a lot of time. And so I'm very thankful for all the people who watch the show, who subscribe. If you're watching now and you haven't, it's a good time to subscribe. And getting some questions. When does Steve come on? And he will be on in about maybe 10 minutes. So he will be here very soon. And yes, we're all glad that Eric is okay. Serious issue, and he got better fast. So, okay, let's, and thank you to everyone who's saying hello and who did they like the show and all of those great things. And so, and I hope to see some of you out on the road. If anyone is near Beaver Dam, Kentucky, I know that the population of Beaver Dam is probably insane, but come on out and see a lot of great bands, and of course, Stephen Piercy. And then we'll be on the road. There's already dates going through 2023, and to be honest with you, I'm hearing some stuff that's in 2024. We shall see. Go to officialstephenpiercy.com to see the tour dates of where we'll be. And so, Michael, thank you so much. A lot of people tell me that they enjoy this show and they look forward to it, and that's great. And I'm always looking for ways to make it better, to get people on. I think we're going to start to have more live guests and friends stop by here. Stop by on Wednesdays and chat, because this is what it's about. I did get a million messages about Pantera, and people telling me that they need to know my thoughts on Pantera reunion, right? And some people are mad. Some people don't want this to happen. Some people don't like that other people are upset about it. And more importantly, Tony, you have a great question. Are the Yankees going to get Juan Soto? I sure hope so. That would be great. That's very important. Okay. what the fuck were we just talking about? Somebody remind me what we're talking about. My brain's not what it used to be. Oh, Pantera. How could I forget? So anyway, people were messaging me. This news was breaking. I knew Vinnie Paul very well. In fact, Vinnie Paul, one of the last bands, if not the last band he ever saw, was my band. And Steve Summers will join us in just a minute. So I'm going to wrap up my Pantera comments fast. But anyway, listen, these guys want to make a living. They're alive. The Abbott brothers would have not approved. Vinny would not have approved. They did not get along. But if these guys want to make a living and people want to hear Pantera music, why not? Let them do it. If you don't like it and you're offended by it, you can stay home. It's that simple. I don't think this is that big a news breaker. And I know Zach Wilde and Charlie Benante and the band, they're talented guys, right? Anyway, I know this is terrible to say. I'm not the biggest Pantera fan. I never was. Nice guys, but it's not my thing. But anyway, listen, I know what you guys tuned in for today. You want to hear from Steve Summers and you want to talk about Pretty Boy Floyd, who are on the road right now and are going to be on the road for the rest of the year, and a lot of international dates. Steve Summers might be the hardest working man in glam, and I thank him for taking a few minutes to stop by. Here he is. How are you, Steve?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad we could see you this time.
Yeah, why not? I got to shave once in a while.
Right.
I got
Steve, where are you?
Shaver, so I can every day.
Well, you're the leather boy with an electric razor. Where are you joining us from, Steve?
A little static.
You're a little frozen.
At the moment, I'm visiting some friends and
Okay, we're having a little technical problems, but we're going to fix them. Steve, are you frozen? You might have to log out and then log back in. Use the same link that I sent you. Hopefully you can hear me. He might not be able to hear me. This is what happens when you have live shows. All right, hold on. Let's give Steve a second to come back in, and we'll hopefully solve this. I believe he told me he's in Houston, Texas. He told me that telepathically. Okay, I think I see him. Hold on, let's see if he's back. No, still frozen. Steve, if you can hear me, leave and then come back in using the link. Yeah, he might be. He may be on bad Wi-Fi, but we'll find out. Hopefully, he'll be back. If not, we'll have him on the phone again. Right. Pretty boy frozen. That is very, very true. He'll be back. Don't worry. I'm gonna kick him on this one. Hold on. All right, now we just gotta wait for him to come back. I could have went longer on my Pantera app. And Steve does look great. Okay, hold on. Here he is. Let's see what we got. We're trying to connect. I hear some rattling. Oh, now there he is. He has two different pairs of glasses on right now. Steve, can you hear me?
Slow motion.
No. He's frozen again. I feel like we have some of his audio, but we can't. Don't worry, we're still. And Dave, I see in the chat, I meant to message you before, you and Brian. So everything will be sent out by Friday. I meant to message, but I got busy with all this crazy stuff. Let's see what we do with Steve. I can hear some rattling. Let's wait a second, because I don't want to leave his frozen picture up. Chris says, and he rarely says anything of intelligence, but today he's saying get closer to the router. So who knows what he's actually on, but I mean, technically. He'll be back. We'll figure this out. We've had these kind of problems before. While we're doing this, I want to talk about where you can see Pretty Boy Floyd. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, let's see if he's been ready. Steve, you there? His mic is muted. I can see it now. Hold on, Steve. You got your mic muted. See, I can see it, but I don't know if he knows. Let's see if I can fix that. He must have hit it by accident. He's very stoic the way he holds that pose. Oh. All right, folks, don't worry. I got it. He must have hit it by accident. This is riveting. Oh. Yeah, he left. He's offended. He's had it with this bullshit. He'll be back. Don't worry. Okay, let's see here. 112 people waiting for us to connect with Steve Summers. While he's, we're going to give him another chance. Hold on. While he's working on that, I want to take a look at some Pretty Boy Floyd tour dates. I mean, this is a crazy schedule. If you look at this, this is the full year. Some of these dates have happened already. But what an insanely busy schedule. I'm not really sure how he keeps up. Looks like the tour kicks off the next leg in Philadelphia on July 29th, and then Poughkeepsie. And then right after that, August, they go to Norway, Sweden, Ireland, the United Kingdom, Italy, Switzerland, Belgium, Hollywood, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Houston, Texas, Oklahoma, a lot of Texas shows, Alabama, and Florida, and Georgia. So, I mean, there's a lot of chances to catch him on the road. And we'll give him a second to try to reconnect again. And, okay. All right, here he is. Let's see. See if we got it this time. All right, you there, Steve? Steve, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. Well, I think
A little bit. It's a little stacky, but I
all
can.
right, we're getting better. We're looking at Pretty Boy Floyd's tour dates for the year. And I was commenting on what a busy schedule you guys have.
Yeah, having a few issues here. What?
All right. Is there another device you can use, Steve, like a laptop or something?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. He's having trouble.
Let's see if I could. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. We can hear him, but I don't think he can hear us.
Is this any better?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear Steve? Live television at science. All right. How about now?
What?
He might have to use. Okay.
Am I still in slow motion?
A little bit. Well, I can hear you at least. No wonder you wanted to talk on the telephone last time. All right. We're going to figure it out.
Well,
it looks like you're frozen.
Right now. Don't have yeah.
I heard like every other word, Steve.
What shall we do?
Well, I heard you say, what shall we do? That's a good start.
Maybe if I get closer.
Well, it seems like it's the connection. Maybe it's the Wi-Fi you're near or not near.
Getting like this.
Steve, I think the best thing is that I call you on the phone, even though we wanted to, to see you. We may have to go to the phone. Hold on. I mean, he got ready for nothing. This is the, I wanted to be a,
When I can't use
hmm?
my phone. When I
Say again?
okay.
You hear me, Steve? I don't know if you can hear me. If you can, I would try to use somebody else's phone, another device, or I'll call you on the phone.
I'm gonna have my wife check this out.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe use her phone. All right. We'll get there. Crowd is patiently waiting. 125 people. I'm gonna take Steve out for a second so that we don't have to stare. Although he is a handsome man, and we'll see if his wife can help him get this going. Anyway, I see a lot of people arguing about Faster Pussycat versus Pretty Boy Floyd, as if this was a steel cage match. Some people think Faster Pussycat self-titled was better. Some people think it was the Leather Boys with Electric Toys. You guys can give your thoughts. And don't be shy that Steve is here. He doesn't know where you live. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, and Chris, you are right. We have 48 hours. 48 hours to rock. So I'm sure in the next 48 hours we will get this sorted out. We did do a test. Bam Bam is a fan of Pussy. He says that Pussy was better. But Mark Sanchez believes that Pretty Boy Floyd had the better debut album. And what was that? Georgia loves both of them, and that's fair. It's fair to like both. T4 Ito, maybe Tito, I don't know, but he agrees with Mark. Kyle says it's a tough one. He can't pick. And both albums are awesome. I think that's fair. But here, Make Music Rock, and sadly, he's never heard Pretty Boy Floyd. Well, it's never too late. Go on there and listen to Leather Boys with Electric Toys. They've got other albums too, but start at the beginning. I think you'll like it. Brian says definitely Pretty Boy Floyd. Prefers it. Apparently, he does not want to be with me. That is apparent. Porn Stars, Brian says, is good. I like that record too. That's a much later one, has different recordings and different versions of some of the old songs too. And Chris says he can't believe I don't like Pantera. Why is that so hard to believe? Not my thing. Never got it. I'm sure I'm going to get angry letters, but listen, you like what you like, I like what I like. Again, nice fellas, but not for me. Pretty Boy Floyd, personal favorite. A lot of people like it. 7 Minutes in Heaven's a great song. See, we don't even need Steve to have a good Pretty Boy Floyd discussion. We're having one of our own. Here's another person, not a big Pantera fan, but respect the Abbott brothers. Well, I feel the same way. I respect them, and they're talented, and I really, I got to spend some time with Dime as well, but Vinny much more because he lived here in Las Vegas and would always come see Sin City Sinners, and would come see my band, Sin City Rejects, and just was a kind guy. And he loved glam, and he loved, Pretty Boy Floyd and Dokken, and I think people don't realize that maybe, but Anyway, I think that if look, people want to hear Pantera music, why not? It's too we all get too involved, and I know some people are hurt by it, and some people who are on the Abbott Brothers side of this may be hurt by it as well. But look, Phil wrote those songs too, and he sang them, and people love that music, and they'd like to hear it, and so let them have their chance. A lot of people are too young to have seen them. I saw them play with Skid Row. I went to a really cool jam in New York City, a place called the Limelight, legendary place. It was a church. I believe now it's a gym. But I saw a marijuana jam. Sebastian Bach, Andy McCoy, who's on the show Friday, Bad Brains opened. Vinny, I don't know if Vinny played. Dimebag played. Anyway, let's see if Steve Summers has fixed his technical problem. We're going to take a look right now. Hey, Steve, how are you? I think
you want to call me.
We might be better. Yeah, you think we should try the phone? Yeah.
Yeah. It's all that stuff.
Yeah. Although right now we seem to be okay for a second.
Okay.
No, I think we'll call. Steve, I'm going to call you right back.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool, man.
We got.
Sorry, everybody.
All right. All right. Here we go. All right. So there goes Steve. I'm going to call him, but now I'm going to have to change my camera. So this is all going to take a second. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss out on the fun that we're about to have. So hold on. Don't mind my hand. All right. Now, hopefully you can still hear me. Jesus. So, excuse me, folks. All right, everybody stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right. That wasn't a bunch of bullshit. Now I see while I was gone, the chat has been spammed by all kinds of porno, which is okay. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but we're going to block that user. Can everybody hear me? Just want to make sure that everyone can hear me. I hate being this close. This is a terrible angle. It's very unflattering. I wish I could be on the phone. But it's horrible lighting. Oh my God. All right. At least you get to see some of the cool stuff behind me. Okay, here we go. Let's see if now we're assuming I have Steve Summers' phone number. Assuming that I have that. Here we go. See if he picks up the phone. Hey, Steve. All right. Make sure everyone can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Then make sure the audience can hear you.
Well, only you would know that, right?
That's right. Well, not even me, the audience. So we're waiting for them to respond. Can you guys hear Steve?
Did we lose everybody?
There's 123 people hanging on every word right now.
Oh,
We started with about 800, but that's okay. They can hear you, and that's what matters. So, Steve, tell me where you're joining us from.
I'm taking a little break. We have shows next week, so I took a little break, and I'm in Houston visiting a friend.
Nice. Well, I was showing the dates, Steve, and they're incredibly busy. You are the hardest working man in glam.
I like that, in glam. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Starting July 29th, Philadelphia. Then you're off to New York. Then is where it gets crazy. Norway, Sweden, UK, Ireland, Italy, Switzerland, Belgium, and then back to the States. A lot of bands can't keep that kind of schedule.
Well, why can't they?
Maybe they can't find the demand, or maybe they can't get the booking, or maybe they can't keep their band together. Who knows?
Sure. Well, we do have a good lineup right now. We do have a good agency, the people around us. So I might have told you this before the first time we talked that I'm just being real, that I turn down shows. We have an agency that's like, we've been with a while, and they say to me like, well, Steve, we can keep you on the road for 200 days a year if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I go like, maybe 100 shows is cool. And then, but no, we got some demand, like you said, for our kind of music at our level, not the Motley level or Def Leppard or anything like that, but at our level, we're keeping it rocking. Someone's got to do the glam sleeves and all that, and we got some great fans.
Steve, you're talking about your booking agency. Does Chris, your original guitar player, he's still partner in that agency, right?
Well, he's the owner.
Right, that's what I thought. Excuse me, I didn't know how to say it. Yeah. So Christy Crash Majors is the owner of the agency, and so obviously he has an investment to keeping the brand going too, right?
Well, I think like I told you before, if people are listening for the first time, me and Christy is a part of Boy Floyd. We are partners. The only thing he's not doing at the moment is doing the live shows.
Right.
So we're doing a record together. We're recording together. I think I told you before. Every step we make, we discuss, and so on. He just at the moment, this is the lineup that's doing the live shows.
Right. Yeah. But like you said, he's still very much part of Pretty Boy Floyd. It is not an easy thing to do. I'm on the road with Stephen Piercy every weekend. Traveling these days isn't easy. It's planes and things. So,
When was it easy?
Yeah, it's not never easy. But you're out there doing it. I wanted to ask. We're going to open the questions from the audience in a minute. But what I wanted to ask you, Steve, is like you said, you're keeping the glam thing alive. That's what Pretty Boy Floyd is. That's what you're built on, and that's what people expect to see. Does it bother you when you see bands that are glam bands that are out there, and sometimes the guys look like maybe they just got done working on their car?
Well, I guess that would mean they're not really glam, I guess.
Well,
I mean, I can keep track of every band or so, but in this day and age, I can't even comment on. Are you talking about like bands that are starting up, or bands that were big bands?
I'm talking about Poison.
Oh, well, you can't talk about Poison because I'm trying to get on the Poison tour
Oh.
the next couple of years, and I love Brett.
Yeah.
So I can't answer that. No, I mean, my honest answer is, and it's not just music. It's anything in business. Any businesses. I mean, a band like that, they're completely successful. I got to give it to them. Millionaires, this and that, whatever. And I think people just love to see them. So I mean, there's nothing for me possibly to say. I mean, it's their deal.
Smart.
I personally don't sit there as a musician and I wish he was dressed like that, or I wish I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta be honest with you, I don't. I mean, maybe a few journalists or some, excuse my language, some pricks. They might go like, they might start talking about it or so. But you know, I don't think Elvis Presley looked, very good at the end of his career, and I love Presley, but people just wanted to see him on the stage.
Yeah. Although he still did dress in character, he still was the Elvis character in the white jumpsuits. He might have been a little heavier, but he still tried it.
Right. Hey, all I can say is, I'm a Poison fan. Brett and the guys have always been cool to me, like always. And all I can say is it's a different time, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I couldn't say right now if we had 10 platinum records, if I would be, getting ready for 2 hours before a show and all the guys would be this and that, whatever. I can't tell you. I mean, maybe I could go like, hey, man, I did that for 20 years or I did that for 15 years. So that's a tough one it's not a tough one for me to answer. Well, let's put it this way. With all social media and all the this and that, I haven't heard one fan, and that's why we do it. Fans say anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be, journalists and this and that, so on and so forth. So does that make any sense?
I think so. I think also what you're saying. I think what you're saying is obviously people get older and first of all, we're lucky that Poison is out there. We're lucky that they have their 4 original members and that they're playing. Brett always looks kind of glam to me. Maybe some of the other guys are in different places and they still play the music, and I hear that their show is great. But you do see some of these bands that listen. Not everyone wants to hold on to the glam as much, but you guys. My point was that you guys do. When you go see Pretty Boy Floyd, you still do the work.
Well, that's only because, like I said, Poison is a multi-platinum band.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have to do these tours, et cetera, et cetera. And a band like us, oddly enough, still has the passion and the fight to do what we dig to do. So maybe it's that. Like I said, I couldn't tell you how I would be if I had $50 million in the bank and I got paid $150,000 a show. I couldn't tell you because I've never been there. So I'm just sticking to the roots of what I love, and thank God, I keep myself healthy and in shape and all that kind of stuff, and can still do it. People are like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. So I can only answer for me. I know each one of the guys, not all personally, but I know Bobby is a great businessman. I know Brett, et cetera, and all the stuff. So, yeah, I can't answer that one. I can't answer for, and I mean this as a compliment, for the rich. I don't have 5 platinum records and 60 million records sold. So who am I to say, like, if 2 or 3 of the guys, aren't wearing their same outfits,
right,
as they were, and open up and say and stuff like that. That's just me.
I think that. I think that was politically correct.
Yeah, yeah, that's my answer. It'd be one thing if maybe if they sound good, and Brett always sounds good, and he's a great front man. Mm-hmm. So yeah, to each his own.
Danny says he would like to see Pretty Boy Floyd over Joe and Jet on the tour. I think a few people might like to see something different. No disrespect.
I think Tesla stated that they wanted that spot.
Mm-hmm.
No, of course we would want this spot. That goes without saying. There's a lot of good tours out there. I don't mean to skip around. Like the Kiefer, LA Guns, Fast and Pussycat tour. That's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to be on those double, triple bills and all that.
Okay, we got a question from Rockin' Roger. He says, hi there, Steve. He's a big fan. Can you do a Canadian tour and bring along Vane and DeMalls too? I'm in Ottawa. All the best, buddy. It's got a lot of demands.
Well, you see, yes, we're going to head over to Canada again. We had a little issue some years ago. We had to let some years go by when we were allowed that in. But as you were saying, with us and our shows and stuff, I'm just being honest. I don't know how many shows Vane and Davey does. I don't see many shows. And I don't see many shows from the DeMalls. So you're asking me a normal question. You know, I remember when I did the interview before. I remember I answered a bunch of questions. There was a few people that commented like, you know, like, oh, he sounds cocky, or he this and that, whatever. You know, cocky isn't when I'm just telling the facts.
Mm-hmm.
The facts are, you know, there are some bands that don't do as many shows for whatever reasons. Now that doesn't mean they're not doing great at other things. Maybe 2 or 3 of the guys are like, you know, incredible real estate agents or engineers or this or that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just talking rock and roll. But yeah, but I would love to tour with Bane. You know, I mean, that'd be a great tour. You know, Pretty Boy Floyd, Bane, or however you look at it, and the Malls. So would I like to see that? Yeah, that'd be cool. But, you know.
Well, what's right.
Go ahead.
No, I think you were going to say the same thing. The business is a different thing. And as much as we would like to see a lot of these things, there's a lot of factors that go into that. And not a lot of the bands are doing as many dates as you are.
Yeah. I mean, we just, we're getting offered a lot of shows. And, you know, once again, you know, that Peacemaker thing did give us a little boost.
Peacemaker was huge. John Cena wearing his Pretty Boy Floyd shirt. The big.
Well, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I can't ask for anything more to be like have a couple tracks on a number one show. You know, there's an HBO Max show. It's number one for a few weeks or whatever. So that's awesome. Yeah, a couple songs, wearing the shirt, etc. So sure, it helps. Anything helps. But like I said, I go back to thanking our agency and stuff like that, where like they really, you know, get us out there. And like I said, sure, I could be on the road for 200, days a year, but no, thank you.
Yeah.
But hey, Jason, if there's a Stephen Pearcy or a Rat tour, and there's Rats, Pretty Boy Floyd, and this and that, and so on and so forth, hey, let's do 150 shows next year.
Right. Yeah, you're ready. It's a different. There's different types of doing this. Now, also, we got to remind people we're coming off a pandemic when bands couldn't work for 2 full years. So this is a big undertaking, and people are still worried. You know, places like Canada, people are still worried if they'll be able to get into, not just for legal reasons.
Oh yeah, I mean there's still regular. Yeah, people are worried. Bands are worried. I talked to a few people earlier today. I mean, about overseas stuff of bands that had to pull out for things or I mean, it's been every day.
Yeah.
Either someone's got to cancel some shows or someone's not doing something because of these weird, these waivers that you have to sign or something.
Mm-hmm.
That if something happens, you don't get paid, and I mean, it's a crazy time, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're lucky to have you. No, I'm saying we're lucky to have as many shows as we do. Steve, what a lot of the questions that are coming in, and you get these a lot too, is about will you be playing this place or that place? And that's not always an easy thing to answer. I think Steve would play anywhere. He's looking to see as many people as possible. But so we're getting a lot of questions about will you be coming to Massachusetts? Will you be coming to Baltimore? Will you be coming to Canada? Things like that.
Well, sometimes it's easy to answer since I've been doing it for so long. I mean, sometimes it really just comes down to club and promoters and stuff like that. I mean, some promoters, really like certain bands. They like to have them back, and certain promoters are just, I mean, certain people take us just because we're like, they're they're like, we love you, Motley Crue, Fast and Pussycat, LA Guns, and this. We wanted you. We don't care how many people showed up.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's some places that are just, you can't win them all. I mean, would we love to play everywhere? Of course we would. Yeah. I mean, we played so many damn places. I mean, eventually we are going to get everywhere. That's like I said, sure, we were on a bigger tour next year, or the year after that. Hopefully we're going to hit places that we haven't hit before.
Right. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, my answer is I would love to. Yeah, I get that question every day. Why aren't you playing here? Why this? And sometimes I just tell them straight out. I'm like, well, the promoter doesn't want to pay us what we need to get paid, or something like that. You know how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing that I don't think people see. These places have a budget, and they have to fit what what they can in there. Okay,
Well,
let's.
yeah, yes, they do. So yeah, that's another part of it. I mean, we don't have we're never sitting there going like, God damn it, we really want to play that place, because we want to play everywhere. So if it works out, it works out. And then what a lot of people don't understand is it's got to fit in the schedule of touring, you know, the driving and the, you know, with the this and that, whatever. You can't have 2 or 3 shows that are 10 hours apart.
Tell me about it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't be spending, you can't play New York one day and play, Arizona the next. Someone would like to know, Steve, do you do vocal exercises? He's saying that Robin Zander has to warm up before the shows, and at 70, he still sounds great. Is there something that you do before shows?
Yeah, I have my whole exercise routine, vocal warm-ups before every show. But I don't just do them before show. I do them every day, even when I'm not playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, my teacher was, she passed away a few years ago. My teacher was Gloria Bennett. And she had she had the Offspring singer and Vince Neil in the beginning, and Axl and a bunch of other. And yeah, she taught me how to, do it all, to stay healthy and to, use your diaphragm, what to eat, whatever, what to not do, and so on. So yes, I have I would say I probably have a 15-minute vocal warm-up routine. But that could go on. That's also the rest of the day on things that I shouldn't eat, I shouldn't do, I shouldn't this, whatever. You know, because I'm now singing songs.
Yeah.
I sing. So, yeah, there's lots of things, you know. A lot of times when we're on the road, the band goes out and does something for 4 or 5 hours, you know, at an amusement park or something. You know, I would love to maybe do that, but maybe by the time I would hit the stage, you know, maybe, you know, I'm not Superman. I don't think I would maybe hit all the high notes that I wanted to. So, yeah, it's, to be a singer, and especially to be a singer that, you know, likes the highs and all that kind of stuff, or whatever you want to call my singing, yeah, definitely preparation.
Yeah, well, and it shows. Your voice sounds like it always has. Not everybody can say that. Greg Peterson is asking, will you ever release the song For All God's Evils?
Oh, let me think about that one.
Okay.
Well, that one. Okay. Well, I can't say never to any song. Maybe a few of the songs, of course, need to be rewritten, or maybe they'll be on a solo record, or maybe they'll be in a new band or something like that. I mean, I'm working on a bunch of things just like everybody else has to. But, you know, at the moment, I would say that, you know, that doesn't really fit into the Pretty Boy Floyd situation. But there's 1 or 2 other projects that I'm working on that it would definitely, it's heavier and harder and stuff like that. But I would say for that song, no, it probably would not fit in the Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah, Ann Melvin says that she would love to see you do some Kiss songs at your shows.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. I mean, you know, some of the shows, once again, Jason, as you would know, we have a limited time up there. You know, sometimes we're not the headliner, and they don't give us an hour and 15 minutes. But definitely since we, you know, put out that Kiss record, the Kiss tribute record, I must say that every other show, someone's asking, why aren't you guys doing 1 or 2 of those? So maybe we have to definitely rethink about that and at least give the people 1 or 2 songs.
Now, when I put out the word that we're looking for questions, we got a lot of them. You've got quite the audience. Let's take a look. Here's one. This question comes from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Howard asks, when on tour, have you ever shared your hotel room with other famous glam gods? If so, who was it and how were they to share a room with?
That's a funny question. Is Chick a glam god?
I don't know. That's an interesting one.
Oh. Well, I'm only throwing that out because, well, first of all, you share a room or share a bus? First of all, what the hell would I be doing sharing a room with another band?
It must have been a tough, no pun intended, budget.
No. So let's get that. No, we've been on the bus many times with the the Faster Pussycats and the LA Guns, et cetera, and all the bands that we've toured with.
Mm-hmm.
But sharing a hotel room with another band dude, no, I can't. But back to the chick thing, the only thing I can recall is many years ago, maybe like 20 years ago, we were on tour overseas, and I think something happened, something got canceled or something. So me and Chip were like in Italy together, sharing a room for like 3-4 days. But Chip's great, so so that was no problem.
And you probably had a nice contact high.
A nice, I think I might have asked him to go outside. No, I don't know. No contact high. But yes, I get the joke. But well, we weren't sitting in the room all day together.
Right.
So.
All right.
So that's my answer to that.
Yes, I hear you. What is it like touring these days? So for the US dates with Pretty Boy Floyd, how do you do it? Do you travel with a tour manager or crew? Do you have to do most of the business yourself?
We do it all ourselves. I mean, there's been a couple of our tours where we had like an opening band or so, and I'll do a little shout out to them, the Midnight Devils. They just have a record out right now. So we'd be traveling with them. They would have the back line, and maybe certain people from our band to that band to Enough's Enough or something would do certain things. But no, most of it is doing it all ourselves. Yes, there's no one in Pretty Boy Floyd. There's no teching. There's no this. There's no that. We got to find the right person to sell our merchandise. We gotta do all the stuff. So I would say no. There's no tour manager. There's no nothing. We have a few people that help out, and then after a day or two, they go like, "Hey, what the fuck? Am I a tour manager?" And I'm all, "Jesus, I only asked you to do like make a call."
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'll understand my joking. I wish we did. I joke about that all the time. We actually joke about that. A couple of us. We walk away and we go like, "God, wouldn't it be nice if someone would this, that, and that for us?" In a joke, but it is what it is. We don't mind doing it. It's a lot of hard work. That's why one of the reasons a lot of people aren't out there, especially at our level. If you've got a whole team of people, then of course it's much easier. Still hard, but it's much easier. No one's checking my microphone. No one's laying out my jack. No one's checking on my hotel, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, a few people help out. If it's a 2 or 3 bill band, we have certain people that do certain things, but that's just all of us helping each other out.
You're extremely hands-on, and I want to make sure that people know that at all of your shows there is a meet and greet, but it's not just a step and repeat. It's the fans are invited to party backstage and hang out, and with the band, it's not a rushed thing. Those meet and greets are available through your social media. You handle it directly, so people want to meet you guys and hang out at any of the gigs that are coming up. They just go to Steve Summers on Facebook or Instagram, and you can message him, and he will set you up, and you'll be hanging out. And so like I said, you do things very hands-on, and it's a smart way to do things and obviously a financial way to do things as well. It's not easy to be out there, and having even an extra body adds up fast.
Yeah. I mean, and with the meet and greets, I think I've said it before. People still ask me, and I explain it all the time. I'm like, I mean, I give the experience. Well, the whole band gives the experience that that I would want back in the 70s or 80s if I was meeting Van Halen or Motley Crue or any of those bands. Not just a quick something. Basically, in simple terms, we give about a half an hour. We take pictures. We have drinks together. We do I don't think we can do any more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's actually at a reasonable price, because I've seen some of the prices for other bands where you just walk in and do that. But I understand. It is what it is. Every band's different. Every band, what we have to do is what we have to do. Well, and what we think our fans will like as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And your fans, as most of bands from the era, are getting younger. There's people who never had the chance to see Pretty Boy Floyd, who are getting to see them for the first time. You know, see you for the first time now.
Oh yeah, I mean we get the new ones. Yeah, we have the older ones, and yeah, I mean every day we gain new fans through whatever social media, this, that, whatever. Sometimes I try to just make it simple to people. I mean, you know, if you're Googling up 80s bands, and we know the whole world is on social media, you know, if you Google up Motley or 80s bands or this or that, we're gonna pop up somewhere. And then if you actually check us out and listen to some of our tunes, or many of them, you might go, oh damn, you know, that's pretty cool. So yeah, we get to meet new fans all the time. Yeah, they're young.
Yeah, which is great, and obviously part of that is you know, a peacemaker doesn't hurt, but also that people are now able to discover music much faster. We used to have to go to the record store and you have to look at the cover and decide what you want. Maybe you heard a single, maybe MTV played it. Now you can instantly find bands, and I'm sure there's glam playlists and all those type of things where you're making new fans at a fast pace. And the one thing about your music and a lot of bands of your era is it's still fun. I think people are sick and tired of the world being so negative that maybe having some fun isn't so bad.
Oh yeah, I mean it's awesome. That's why it's cool to see, you know, all those bands out there doing it or stuff. I mean, it's cool to, I like all kinds of music, but it's cool to see even, you know, like not even, you know, seeing Styx and REO and Loverboy, because that's good time, fun music. Like I said, it's cool to see Kiefer, LA Guns and Pussycat. It's cool to see the stadium tour, and it's cool to see all that other stuff, because that's all, it's all good time stuff, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. What is it like in these foreign countries traveling? You know, Norway, Sweden, UK, Ireland. Is someone driving? Is there another band that's helping? How do you get around?
Well, every time's a little different. This specific run, we have an opening band that we're traveling around with, the Roadkills, and so we'll be traveling with them. And then since we'll be hitting so many places like Italy here, and then all these other places, certain ones will be like the promoter for like 4 or 5 days with the other band as well. So I would say on that 3 weeks, we'll probably be with 3 different promoters that are taking us all around, that set it all up, and we'll be with that opening band. I mean, there's going to be other bands on the tour, local bands, but we will be with the Roadkills. Right.
When is the last time that Pretty Boy Floyd did a lengthy international run like this?
Well, this is like 3 weeks or a little more than 3 weeks, I think it is. But I mean, we did 2 weeks, you know, a couple years before COVID. Yeah, I mean, we were over there. We were in London and Hungary and all those type of places. So, but this one's longer. You add another week to anything, even if it's in the States, and you could tell it's longer.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's great that you guys are doing it. We got all kinds of like sort of inside questions, like, do you still speak to this guy or do you still speak to that guy? Leslie Sanders is one. Someone wants to know if you still talk to Leslie Sanders. He was your bass player, well, I don't know, 15 years ago maybe?
Right. We're in communication. I mean, once again, with social media or so, it might be a little hello here and a hello there, and oh, you're doing that, or oh, I'll be in town. But you know, we don't talk on the phone or hang out or anything. That's nothing personal, so Leslie, don't get mad at me. So yeah, here and there we say our hellos.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, there's been over the years you've had a lot of members work in the band. At the end of the day, as we've said, the partnership is you and Chris, and right now you're the one who's out doing the shows, and so there's been a lot of members come and go. It's hard to stay in touch with everybody all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's some I want to stay in touch with, some I don't care if they drop dead.
Right. Well, if you wait long enough, someone will ask about them too. But Famous Lisa has a question that I like. You told me this when we got off the phone, and but we didn't get it on the air. So now's our chance. What happened to Vic Fox?
Oh, Vic has a life.
Mhm.
No, well, Vic's, first of all, he's a very busy guy. You know, he is a family man. You know, he's got a wife and kids. He homeschools his kids. He's a great father. But there was one point where, I mean, I don't think he'll be upset if I say anything. I mean, he had a small injury, so he's rehab now. But if he wasn't up to, you know, the par that he wanted to be at, you know, he didn't want to do it, and he didn't want to re-injure himself. So, so back to your earlier question, I Vic more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just the situation. Like I said, you know, Vic and his wife, they run some family stuff, some family businesses, and he's a great guy. But you know, there's probably a reason why he's not. He used to be, you know, more with other bands, whether it was Vince or Dokken or this or that, and so on and so forth. So, you know, there must be, you know, there is a specific reason why he's, you know, not doing it now. And well, and especially because it's not the safest thing to do right now.
Sure.
Just being real.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we're good buds. I see him every once in a while, and you know, who knows in the future what holds.
And for those watching who may not know, Vic Fox was the original drummer for Enough's Enough. And as you mentioned, he also played for Vince Neil and Dokken and things like that. But he was playing with Pretty Boy Floyd for a little while before the pandemic. And I think that is the connection. In case people didn't know, I've always said that.
Enough, he was playing with us around 2000 or 2008 or 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's done a couple runs with us.
Gotcha. He's coming. Yeah, I had Donnie V on the show, and I told him you need to get Vic Fox and get the band back together. But I don't know if everybody gets along. That's their business, right?
Are you asking me that question?
I mean, no, I don't think you can solve the Enough's Enough problems. I mean, we all.
I don't know if they got along in the first place, so I don't know if they'll get along now. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't. If I had to answer that realistically, I don't see a Vic playing in Enough's Enough.
Yeah, and you have an inside word, but listen, everyone's got enough of their own stuff. This question comes up a lot. Steve's answered it, but we'll give it a chance again. Is Christy going to play in any future shows?
For sure, yes.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. He does still he owns the agency that books Pretty Boy Floyd. They are still partners. They will still record together, and when the time is right, he will play again. He's just not doing it right now. So, but he's not out of the band.
No, me and him are partners with Pretty Boy Floyd. We're a business, and he's my partner, and he's the one I do the writing with, all the business with. He's just he'll tell me when he wants to do all these fun shows. Yeah,
absolutely. And again, it's a lot. He does run a business as well, and it's hard to run a business, you know, from Oslo.
Well, he does other things as well too. He also, you know, produces a little bit or this or that, whatever. He doesn't. So it's just, you know, like my joke is sometimes it's like some people maybe don't want to do it all the time because, you know, they appreciate a good shower every day.
Hard to come by.
Yeah, and you know, with you know, pizza for dinner every night isn't you know, always great. But no, I'm just playing around. But no, it's just once again, it's not just the music business. It can be any business. There could be 5 owners, and 2 owners are at work, 3 are on the golf course, 1 is over there, and but if it works, it works. So we have a good relationship, and he will definitely come back and do shows.
Cool. Steve, I have no idea what this means. I see 100 different things asking about you and Kelly Osbourne. I'm going to bite. Is there something to that?
Okay, well, here's the part again, so no one give me that cocky stuff. Yeah, I do other things. I've been a personal trainer, nutritional specialist since I was in my 20s. There was a time that I was training a couple people that worked for Sharon at the office, and then I started training Kelly at the house.
See, I had no idea. I thought that they were setting me up for something, but that's interesting.
Oh, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's a very cool thing. Yeah, no, somewhere after the first record or something like that, or somewhere. I mean, I was always into fitness and sports and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I mean, I'm still doing it, and so yeah, I go over to their mansion over in Beverly Hills, and I actually set up their old gym. Of course, yeah, they moved 5 times since, but yeah, I was training Kelly at a time. And then I'm sure he won't mind because he's a cool guy. And then Sharon was managing Coal Chamber, and I was training Dez at the time of Coal Chamber, the singer, during when they were doing the Shock the Monkey video.
Huh. Was Ozzy or Sharon or Kelly, were they familiar with Pretty Boy Floyd?
Yes, they were.
I mean, I'm sure, Kelly is a little bit younger, but I'm sure Sharon's in the music business and knows. Were they fans? What did you talk about?
I don't necessarily know if they were fans,
right,
but they knew who we were because it all started with one of the girls, a promoter like in the LA scene that worked at some record labels and stuff. I was training her, and she, like I said, she worked for Sharon. And all of a sudden, she started to get real good shape. And Sharon, I think, said to her, like, "What are you doing?" And then she said, "Oh, well, the guy Steve from Pretty Boy Floyd, he does this. Oh, well, we need him now." So,
yeah, Sharon knows.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I apparently didn't get on any Ozfest or anything like that at the moment. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, the day is young. Anything can happen.
Oh yeah, anything happen? No. I mean, great family. They were totally cool with me. Like I said, they trusted me to Steve, here's the budget, fill up the gym. Because they were doing some renovation and no, but yeah, Kelly was cool.
Well, I think you did a great job. She got into shape.
Well, that was years ago. So
I know.
I had her when she was pretty young, and she was. No, she was happy, but the family was so busy. That family is so busy. So we crammed in as much as I can. Yeah, we walk the streets.
That sounds like a headline.
What's that?
The cramming thing sounds like a headline, but
yeah, I know. Sorry for that. Yes, we would get the workouts in whenever it fit into the Osborne schedule.
Yeah,
but very cool. Very cool people.
Well, that's a great experience. Now, some of these questions, Steve, sometimes they sound like Metal Edge, like the old Jerry Miller Metal Edge. But I'll bite on some of these. What is your favorite food when on tour?
Favorite food when on tour.
And while you think about it, I want to point out to people watching, eating on the road is extremely difficult. You eat at gas stations most of the time. Finding something healthy or any quality isn't always easy.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm a very healthy eater. So the first thing I would always go for is chicken salad, blah, blah, blah. Basically I eat healthy food, whether it's fruit, this, that, all that kind of stuff. But on the road, yes, like you said, it's different. If we have time during the day, sure, a couple of us go over and, nothing wrong with a good steak or sushi or something like that. But as you would say, yeah, there's not a lot of time to, those promoters are like, well, what do you want? Pizza or chicken wings?
Right.
Oh my God. Yes. And, but there's always some cool fans that were like, can you bring this or can you bring this? So it's hard to say, what. I mean, my favorite foods are, sushi, steak, chicken. But I'm a healthy eater.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the best I can say. But I guess our joke is like me and the bass player Chris Six, we're just like, how come they just can't hand us grilled chicken salads every night? Mm-hmm. Some grilled chicken salad, maybe with some baked potato or something. I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but I also want to live for the rest of a long time too. So yeah.
Yeah, and eating in airports and finding something that's open at 1, 2 in the morning. Like you said, it's a lot of chicken wings and pizza.
Yeah, I mean, we actually tried to put a new thing together on the last 2-week run. We're like, okay, we're going to figure this out. Let's make sure we bring this, and this. It was like beef jerky, protein bars, protein shakes, all this kind of stuff. And then by the third day, like it was all gone. And we're like, oh shit, we didn't plan that very well. So, but no, I would honestly say, I know it doesn't sound flattering, but we try to eat healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. People are saying, Steve is saying, it's cool how you hang out with the crowd after your show. I will point out the last time that Steve and I saw each other was at the Rainbow Backyard Bash at the anniversary show. And Steve was really the most accommodating person there. First of all, he hung out with all his meet and greet people, but he also, Steve, you were there most of the night meeting people and taking pictures and doing the things that people want. And you guys were great. I got there and watched. It was really fun. And I think that I've said this before, but you guys fit what that anniversary should have been about. No disrespect to the other bands that played, but I didn't really get a lot of the music. I got Stephen Pearcy. I got what you did, and Steel Panther. It's a entertaining show, I suppose, for some. But it was great. It was great seeing you there, and I think the fans really digged it and dug it, and got to hear some real catchy, glam metal.
Yeah, it was great. We had a blast. Yeah, we do that every show. It's not just me that goes out, before the show or after the show or this or that. All the guys eventually do it, once they pack their gear away and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, we love to do it, and we do it full force. We don't have to act or anything like that. If we're going to be out there, yeah, we want to meet the fans. We want to meet new fans. We want to hang out with the old fans, this and that, whatever. So, I honestly, some people ask me and they don't believe me all the time, but, some of the shows or most of the shows, it feels like I'm doing my first whiskey show. Mm-hmm. Or it feels like I'm, doing a sound check at the Roxy or this or that, whatever. That's just me. And I know some people go like, well, how could you, and you're, and I'm 55, but it does. I mean, I'm a youthful dude, and I have the passion for it, that it just comes natural. I dig it.
September 23rd, you'll be back at the Whiskey. What a fun place to see Boy Floyd. So I want to make sure people know, get their tickets. It's great to see one of the original bands in the original stomping ground. So let's make sure that people know about that. Some of the questions we can't answer, but let's see.
A few rude ones? Come on, bring it.
No. Well, a lot of it involves a website that is controversial in your band's history.
Oh, that?
Mm-hmm. People want to know why they can't talk about you online. You don't have to say.
We're going to have to leave that one aside.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Let's see.
Leave that one aside.
Question. And by the way, Steve hasn't, he's answering every question he can as honestly as possible. Some of these things are out of his control, so he's not holding back. Is the 2021 Electric Boys CD from Japan remastered?
No, it's not.
Okay.
And I know we get asked that a lot. When's it going to be? Hold on. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. When's it going to be remastered, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? I don't know. When someone has a budget to do it. Are you with me?
I'm here. Yeah, you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So no, it's not a remaster. It's just re-released with I think a bonus track. I think Slam Dunk is on it from the Switch movie soundtrack or whatever.
Mm-hmm, that's right, Ellen Barkin movie. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's not remastered.
Terps83 says, any hints about songs on the next album? But I'll go a little bit broader with that. Is what are the plans with recording, and when will we see the new album?
Well, most of the music recording is almost done.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Chris did a lot of it before COVID hit, and then we just been due to the touring schedule and just life in general, we just kind of, it's just on hold for a little bit. So no, there's already like 10 or 12 recorded songs musically and stuff. So it's up to me to go in there and do them, which I'll be doing shortly.
Nice.
The goal is to have a new record out next summer.
Nice.
So
Well,
that's not a problem. And we're also writing new music all the time. So we could be back in the studio to throw a few more in for the record for next summer.
Yeah, good. That's good news. A lot of these questions, some of these ones, like where is Steve from? A lot of these things you can check out our first interview where we talk more about the history of Pretty Boy Floyd and talk about Steve's background a bit.
Let's answer that one real quick. Where am I from? I'm from Northridge, California. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I'm an LA dude, and I was born in Burbank, grew up in beautiful Northridge, and been there my whole life.
Yeah, and again, you can check out our first interview to hear more about that. Hear about his brother's support of the band and being involved with them. He's the original manager of Pretty Boy Floyd, and they've got a lot of stories, and all that's in that interview as well. Steve is asking if you're on the road now, but he's visiting friends in Houston right now. The road starts next week, I believe. Yeah, the road starts next. Well, we fly out next Thursday or so, and then we do the Masquerade in Philadelphia, and then we play the Chance Theater in New York, Poughkeepsie. Did I say that right? Yeah, Poughkeepsie, New York. Yeah. Yeah. Right now, I'm just visiting some friends in Houston. Yeah, and then after that begins European dates, then closes out the year back here in the States, and he'll be here where I am in Las Vegas, Nevada, and then of course at the Whiskey. And then there's probably more being added. I have a feeling that there'll be more. Well, but I don't know if the list that you have. Then we're starting up that that Glam Slam tour again, that with Enough's Enough and the Midnight Devil. So we'll be doing that again in October. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I don't have all of that yet. So there's more to look forward to. Yeah. Oh yeah. When we once August, after September, after the Whiskey and the Vamp show, then we go out for 1 week or 10 days with that tour that we just did a few weeks ago. Yeah, okay, I see that. That begins October 6th in Houston, Texas, then Oklahoma, Eagle Pass, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Huntsville, Alabama, Fort Myers, Florida, Pompano Beach, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and Buford, like Sheriff Justice T. Buford, Georgia. So there's a lot of dates you get to see those guys as well. And I'm sure our agency will, because they're good, I'm sure I'll be getting a call in a couple days about something in November and December. Here's a question, and this is related to the show, because for the next 4 weeks I have all the surviving members of Hanoi Rocks on the show, and the question is, was Hanoi Rocks an influence of yours? Yeah, they were an influence in some way or another. They weren't, and that's nothing personal. I know a lot of people love them, and that's all cool and all that. They're in my top 10. Mm-hmm. But not top 5. I mean, I dug the the clothes and the the glam and Michael Monroe and stuff like that, but they weren't. That's just me personally. Yeah, I was more into the Motley and the Kiss and the I don't know, the really big anthems, the really big arena rock, chanting songs with the look that would, really blow people away and stuff like that. Did I dig them? Yeah, I dig them. But they weren't, when people ask me what were your favorite ones or whatever, top 10. Top 10. Right. It wasn't necessarily one of your personal Influences. Okay. Comment is that you put a lot of great info on your Facebook page. That is great, right? And that is the best way to follow Steve. If you want to get merchandise and you want to get meet and greets, and you can't get to a show for the merchandise, at least you can contact Steve on his social media, and he will get that for you.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, all that stuff.
Bam Bam has a good question. I like this one. Steve, if you had a chance to front any band for one night, who would it be and why?
If I had a chance to let's see. I guess I would say Motley.
That's what I was thinking. And listen, that could happen, Steve. They might need you.
Yeah, no, I would say Motley.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I definitely sit around here and go, God, I wish I could do this, that, or whatever. But if you're asking me the question, that sure, it'd be great to be up there to power out those songs with the boys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and a lot of people would like that idea as well. Let's see here. Just making sure, I'm trying to let as many people ask questions as possible. I made the point that this is a little bit of a rare thing because, you're not sitting on here constantly doing interviews. And so, yes, I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance. And please come back again and get your camera and sound right and round out the interview. And we will.
Was that my fault?
I think it was your fault. But
Okay.
But I'll take the blame if you like. But I will point out that Steve appears in the upcoming tour diary. It's in the no, it's a couple down. It's the one from the Rainbow. Steve and I chatted backstage from the show, and so you get to see him on there. And he's always welcome here. Maybe when we gets out on the road, we got a record to promote. He's always welcome. He's definitely a friend of the show. And I'll tell you that Steve and I the first time I got to know him was we booked him for Sin City Sinners. This is like 2008, I think. And it was the first time I got involved with a charity called Toys for Tots. It was Christmas time. And we got a ton of toys for kids. I've been affiliated with that charity every year since. We're going to do it again this year. And so I thank you, Steve. I thank you for doing that and having fun and playing your songs here in Vegas for everybody.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, it wasn't at the dive bar.
The dive bar, Steve. One of my favorite stories I tell about you is that you would say, everybody, just be calm. I got a slight problem. It's no big deal. And then you go, it's about my driver's license. And then you would panic more than if anyone said, I lost it. It's gone. Oh my God, I lost my driver's license. And then we would find it and you would calm down. And then maybe an hour later, it would be the merchandise suitcase. And you would start very calm and very patient and say, listen, I don't want to alarm anyone, but I can't find my suitcase. And then you would erupt. After that night, I get the feeling you may do.
I honestly didn't remember that.
I get the feeling you may do that from time to time, though.
What, lose the license?
Lose something and then try not to panic.
What's the official question?
Say it again.
What's the official question?
Do you lose things and try to stay calm?
Well, I'm calm with everything. I'm calm until I'm not calm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, that says it.
There needs to be a fire or an earthquake or some tornado for me to freak out. But anything else, I can be very calm, until, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 people don't give the right answers. No, but I try to stay calm, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I keep my health. You got to stay calm. You got to lower that stress level. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to tell you, I haven't misplaced my driver's license in a very long time. That's a weird one.
Yeah. I think you put it in like a glove box or something for safety. Brent Muscat's glove box, to be exact.
Oh, really? Okay.
But you were being safe. You didn't want to lose it, but you You also didn't want to panic, but you might have panicked a little bit. Georgia would like to say thank you for bringing us this interview with Steve Summers. And again, Steve is welcome here anytime. We had a slight technical problem. We got through it. If you have any other questions for Steve, this is your chance, because I can't keep him here all night. He's visiting with friends, and he's got other things to do as well. We will remind everybody, Pretty Boy Floyd on Instagram and Facebook, Steve Summers on Instagram and Facebook, and you can keep an idea. And go see them. Go support these bands. I say it all the time. Bands are coming a long way to be with you. It's not to only want to be with you. As they say, these thank you. They I'm sure you've heard it before, but it is a lot of it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of sitting in vans, sitting on planes, sitting backstage, sitting in a hotel room, and just for that hour or so that they get to entertain you. So go out and support, and be glad that we still have this music to enjoy.
Right on.
Yeah.
And me personally, I just thank you, thank all the fans, thank our agency, thank everybody involved that makes it so we can still do it. And we have no plan on stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a good thing you take care of yourself, because you are able to endure the road. This is a question that we didn't talk about last time. I thought maybe you didn't want to talk about it, but you're fine with it from what I understand. Does Steve still DJ at the strip club?
No.
No, but you did.
Let's get this straight once again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to sound cocky. When my brother was still alive, he passed away a couple years ago.
Oh, sorry.
My brother's owned adult bars, so I've owned them with him. I've managed them. I've DJ'd them. I've done everything possible for like 20, 25 years. Yes, in the adult business.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment, no, I do not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Not with all these Pretty Boy Floyd shows.
I was going to say you wouldn't have time if you wanted to.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that part of my life is done right now.
Yeah.
I would say it wasn't awesome. There was usually times where I'd be the manager / DJ / this / that, and nothing wrong with going home with $5,000 cash in your pocket.
I thought you were going to say 5 women. I thought.
No, I wasn't going to say that. Jason.
Apologize. How rude of me.
Yes. I'm a married man, and that Delphine is listening to this right now in the other room.
Well, I do know you're a married man, absolutely, and happily married man. But I was the time I was talking about it was way before you were married. So.
No, I know. Gotcha.
I wouldn't. I would not throw you under the bus.
No, she can take it all. She's mature.
Yes, listen. She's got to know what she gets into. Marrying a singer for Pretty Boy Floyd. Steve, tell me how you guys met.
We actually met. Well, first of all, she's French, so
Mm-hmm.
she was living in France, and we actually met through social media. She's a fan of 80s bands. Well, she's a fan of all kinds of bands, whether it's everything from Prodigy to Manson to everything. And I'm a fan of beautiful women. Sorry. So we started talking online, and then we were actually going on tour overseas, and actually some of our shows were in France. So that's where we finally got to meet, like 6 months after talking online, and then the rest is history.
How long have you been married?
Over 10 years.
Yeah. Can you speak any French?
Oh, see, now you're really getting me in trouble.
Well,
Yes. Yes, I give her the Bon Jovi once in a while, or the Bonjour, whatever. No. She knew no English at all when I met her, so she adapted and learned very fast. You got to give it to her, and I am still trying to learn how to attach a photo to an email.
Right. Yeah, I get it. That's why it's good to marry people a little bit younger.
What's that?
It's good to marry people a little bit younger to help with technology.
Yeah, she's very good at that kind of stuff. Yes, yes.
Blanco would like to see a Pretty Boy Floyd Stephen Pearcy tour in 2023. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, come on, Jason, make it happen.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to call him right after this. You guys were chatting at the.
I did do a nice little run with it, right? Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I knew that happened before, and you guys were chatting at the Rainbow a little bit. Stephen didn't really talk to anybody. He was in and out, but he did make sure that you guys were chatting a little bit before the show.
Yeah, he's very cool. Very cool. I love the guy.
I think he definitely respects the history of the guys who came from that scene.
Right.
All right. And so yeah, who knows? You never know what's going to happen. There's all kinds of fun questions in the chat. Greg has one, but some of these I'm going to not ask. But if we ever get Chris on the show, we can ask him some of these questions, because a lot of these questions don't involve Steve, and so if Chris wants to come on, we can let him answer them. They're saying that the tour you guys did together was 2005. I do remember. That's a long time ago, though.
You mean with Pearcy?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Pearcy, Bang Tango, and us.
Yeah. And all right, a lot of people again come to Indianapolis. People want to see you. We're getting a lot of different places, and stay tuned. They're not avoiding places. It's just it's got to make sense, and they've got to route it. And hopefully, some more of these festivals will have you on. I think you guys are a great addition to these cruises and these M3s and all these festivals where they have bands of your genre.
Yeah. Well, you didn't mention the January one, the Rock Island.
Oh, Rock Island. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Is Steven on that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really fun one. That one, it sells out, it seems. That's a big show. I think because it's in January, people want to go to Florida and warm up in Key West. But yeah, come out and see that. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
I could barely remember where I'm going to be. You're going out next week. I'm going to Beaver Dam, Kentucky, with Bullet Boy, Quiet Riot, and Kicks, and then Stephen Pearcy. So.
All four of those bands are playing?
Yeah, it's the Beaver Dam Jam in Kentucky. It's a festival.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you probably have done that one before. Question: Alpha Cub would like to know, what genre would Steve call Pretty Boy Floyd?
Glam rock.
That's what I would say, glam rock, and proud. You hear people who don't want to have certain titles, or they say they're this or that. I think Pretty Boy Floyd is glam rock and proud.
Yeah, we're glam rock, man.
Of course.
I mean, some of our songs are heavier, some are poppier, some are this, that. But we're glam rock. We still are glam rock. So yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Of course, Greg also points out that you might be shock rock, cock rock, as the song may say.
We're always rocking and shocking and talking and all that stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of our little sayings before we go on stage. All right, let's do this. So yeah. Actually, last couple shows, some people were wearing their own shirts that they made that actually said that on it. That was pretty cool. Nice.
You might have to market that yourself now.
Well, yeah.
You might have to market a few.
Right.
Because you got.
Okay.
No, as I said, because you do have a great line of merchandise, and what I like is that you guys change it up. You don't just sell the same shit for 20 years. You have different things each tour. There's something new, and I think fans like that. People collect things.
Oh yeah. And especially us, we like to bring out like even old flyers from the Sunset Strip and all that kind of stuff. They really love that kind of stuff. So we try to have a nice variety of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is a good thing. Steve, I appreciate you stopping by. I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties. We'll have you back, and we'll.
Yeah, maybe I'll figure out the laptop computer thing by when we get back from overseas.
That would be great, because I would love for you to give us a recap of what that's like, because I don't know. I think you're one of the first bands to really get out there and do of this scene to do a run like that. So I'd love to hear what it was like. I'd love to hear the response, and we'll do that. We'll practice on the laptop first and make sure that we get a good, strong Wi-Fi connection.
And we're actually, since I know a lot of glam rockers or whatever listening right now, there's a few cool festivals that we're doing with bands that they like. Like Hardcore Superstar and Crash Diet and Reckless Love and all these, Sister, and so there's a few cool festivals that we're doing out there. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, you guys are sort of like godfathers of some of those scenes, those shows. You know what I mean? A lot of those. What's that again?
No, I laughed.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, because a lot of those bands are influenced by you guys. You guys have been sticking around doing this, going on over 30 years, right? Definitely.
Yeah, over 30 years, yeah. Yeah, usually we're on the side of the stage going like, come on. No. No, but, no, it's awesome. I mean, yeah, it's awesome.
Steve, I thank you. And like I said, we worked with the technical difficulties. We got to as many people's questions as we could. And I look forward to seeing you. I'm going to come see you guys live. And hopefully we'll have, like we've been talking about, there'll be some more shows together.
Cool. And one more thing, I just want to tell any of the fans that we're going to be caught up with merchandise because of these shows and merchandise companies and all this kind of stuff. We're going to be caught up with everybody before next week, before we do those shows. It is on the top of our list.
Yeah. And you make a good point, Steve. It's really hard. These guys do, they do everything themselves, like going on tour. It's a lot of work. They try to make sure everyone gets the merch out and get everything situated. So just hang tight, and by next week you'll have your stuff.
I mean, I have to admit, some nights I don't even sleep. I'm going like, oh my God, that guy Jerry in Ohio, he's got to get that shirt by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And then you actually iron the decal on yourself and sew it, and then you run it down to the Pony Express.
I get some crazy glue and just slap that patch on there and just go, take it, buddy.
Yes, that's your hand.
No, I don't make the shirts. I don't make it.
Yeah, there's not a Pretty Boy Floyd sweatshop. Yeah. All right, Steve, thank you so much. Everyone's going to follow you on social media, get the latest information, and get the meet and greets, come and hang out with you as well.
Right on.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, well, listen. So we had a few technical difficulties. I'm going to get ready to wrap this up for you guys, but hold on. But while I'm fixing this, we can always have Steve on the screen. I hope that you guys enjoy that. I'm going to take a few of your questions before we get out of here altogether. I'm going to keep that up. Hold on. He was able to access the video himself. The problem was the connection, as you saw. He went in on his own and got it. Unfortunately, maybe the Wi-Fi where he was an issue. Guys, don't go anywhere. Let's make sure I'm still here. Okay. Hold on one second while I get this straight. There was a bunch of questions that there was no way I could ask. Some of them were, they didn't involve him anyway. But I was enjoying the people who were asking them. And some of the questions that people had sent in, I don't think he was in on those jokes as well. Okay, hold on. Now we're going to mute my mic for 1 second. Don't go anywhere, guys. Hang tight. All right. How about that? Technology at its finest. We're back. That was exhausting, huh? I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Steve. I'm going to look at a few questions of my own. There's got a lot going on here. And I thank everybody for the nice words. And yeah, fucking Texas. Misfits wrote a song about Texas. I better not say anything. I gotta go to Texas soon. Chris, thank you. It was nice seeing you at the Picktown Palooza as well. We had a nice time there in Pickerington, Ohio. It was nice. Nice, and we shot a lot of stuff for the tour diary. Is Warren from Rat playing at all? Well, he's not playing with Rat. He does occasionally do these jam, all-star jam things, but he hasn't really done that well either. I mean, not said well. He hasn't been doing much of it. He's great. Maybe one day Rat will solve their differences. I wouldn't bet on it. Let's see. Pretty Boy Floyd got me through my first divorce. Still laughing about that. We should have told him. When will the next tour diary be out? That's a good question. I hope you guys enjoyed my first tour diary. If you haven't, you can still check it out. And now the tour diary is not going to just be my touring with Stephen Pearcy. There's a lot of that. But I do do other projects. The good folks at Netflix flew me out for a project that I can't really even talk about. But I did film the entire trip, and I did take you on a tour of some pretty amazing Hollywood places. And so that one's coming out too. And a few of my other business endeavors, I went and did some traveling and also showed you some places as well. Excuse me. When you have low blood sugar, sometimes you got to eat something. So I never wanted to be that asshole who complained about low blood sugar. But anyway, the tour diaries will come out on Mondays. And hopefully I can get through editing the next one, which is the Whiskey A Go-Go. It's a short one, but you do get a backstage tour of the whiskey, and you get to see the rainbow. And it's a cool one. It's a short one, though. A little shorter. Short compared to the first one. That was an epic mini-series. Who was the most famous musician came into the record store he worked at in New York? Well, that's a good question. Interesting. I don't even remember mentioning it so much, but I did work at a record store called Revolver Records on 8th Street and 6th Avenue. Don't look for it. It's not there. Across the street from Jimi Hendrix's studio, which is called Electric Ladyland. And I was probably in high school. And I'll tell you a couple of people who came in. One of the coolest, though, was Mick Jones of The Clash, not Foreigner. And Mick Jones wanted to see bootleg videos. He was interested in this one called Rock and Roll Circus, Rolling Stones. And he might have looked at Cocksucker Blues, which is a famous or infamous Rolling Stones documentary. I showed him the videos to see. He wanted to see the quality. These are VHS tapes. I put them in the TV for him. And I asked him if he would sign my first Clash record, the first album on vinyl. It's worth a lot of money now. And he told me that after I showed him these videos, he would sign it for me. And he did. And I'm honored to have that. I remember Fred Schneider from the B-52s coming in a bit. I remember Laura Ulrich coming in a bit and gave us, me and the young lady who worked there, who is no longer with us, but gave us really good tickets to see Metallica and backstage passes on the probably Black Album tour. Trying to think of other really kind of notable people who came in. I will tell you that one day I was hanging out, name dropping, with Dee Dee Ramone of the Ramones. He played a place called The Bank on a Friday night, and we were hanging out. We had a great time, but I had to be at work at Revolver Records on Saturday morning. So they sent me to maybe the post office. Back then, people had to go to post offices. And by the way, at that post office, I used to run into Bernard Goetz, the New York subway shooter. I'd see him all the time online with me at the post office. He had a pet squirrel in his pocket or something weird like that. Or maybe he was just glad to see me. But anyway, I ran into Didi Ramon after we were hanging out at the show. And I said to him, what are you doing up at, it was 11 a.m. And he said that he was kicking drugs. And he had to get up and take walks to get out, and not take a walk in cop, I suppose, but he had to get out and walk around. He walked from the Chelsea Hotel on 23rd Street. And I told him, why don't you come to my job and look at some records? And he came and he looked at a bunch of records. And we took a picture of us together and at the record store. And then later I used him in a television thing that I wrote. And anyway, so I gave you a long answer to a short question. And I hope that you liked it. There is the answer about Texas. Does Steven Setlist say the same or does he mix it up? That's a tough question. There's a certain amount of songs he has to play. There's at least 10. If you go see Stephen Pearcy, you have to hear them, right? Well, you got to hear Round Around, and you got to hear Lay It Down, and you got to hear You're in Love. You got to hear Body Talk, Wanted Man, Lack of Communication, right? Slip of the Lip. I mean, that's 7 right there that I think you have to hear. I'm forgetting right now some of the other ones, but those for sure. Then he likes to play songs from the EP, which he's going to be releasing next year, re-releasing. So he likes to play You Think You're Tough. He likes to play Sweet Cheater. And so there's a few that he really likes, but he's trying to add different things. He's adding some of his solo music as well. So it is changing. There's plans for new ones. I'm just going to show some people's comments because I'm not sure that I know what to say, but I like to. That I want to make sure that everyone gets their word in. Let's see here. Also, when I was working at Revolver Records, Sebastian Bach, first time I ever met him, was recording at Electric Ladyland, and I got to talk to him, and Slaughter. I got to hang out with Tim Kelly. New York was really a cool place. What is your favorite Las Vegas show? I don't know if there's anything here right now that I'm like into. There was a show called EFX, and Rick Springfield was in it. Donny Osmond was in it as well, and so was a couple other people. I can't think of their names. Legendary people. The original Phantom of the Opera from Broadway, I think. Anyway, but I'm a Rick Springfield fan. I saw that was great. I saw Jersey Boys. I saw Phantom of the Opera. Phantom of the Opera at the Venetian was incredible. I wish they never tore down that theater. And yes, Bernie Getz. Isn't that crazy? If you forget about these New York stars, if you guys didn't bring it up, I'm not sure I would remember. Nobody Rides for Free. That hasn't been in the set in a while, but it does occasionally get requested and definitely could come back. David Johansen, I met him several times, and yeah, he would be a great interviewer. He's a little bit more private or so, still lives in New York, and I don't know. You don't see him doing many of these things. What happened to Frankie Wilsey? Is he busy with the Sea Hags? I guess that's a joke. He's not in the Sea Hags anymore. Frankie Wilsey was the guitar player in Stephen Pearcy's band. He was also in Arcade. He's in a band called Aerosmith. It's an Aerosmith cover band. He makes good money doing that. And he could not juggle his schedule anymore. It's not easy being on the road. After that, Chris Hager came back in from Rough Cut. And he ended up getting sick. He had COVID, and then things changed there. And then, as you've all seen, Johnny Monaco came in, and Johnny Monaco is on guitar with Eric Ferentinos as well right now. And so for now, that's the lineup, and I think you'll see that lineup for a little while. All right. And thank you. Yeah, listen, I like to tell you that I'm prepared. I want to hire producers and do all those things. But to be honest with you, I fall out of bed and I go, oh my God, I got to talk to my friends again. And are you playing with Stephen Pierce? No, I am not playing with him, but which is probably better. It's why we've been friends for so long. But I do enjoy working with him. I'm his tour manager. Arcade songs, not right now. You know, when the lineup changes, also when Johnny joined, he had to learn a lot of songs real fast. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets those back in at some point. And yes, Frankie Will's interview would be great. He told me he would do it. We're going back and forth, and I hope that he does. I like him. Let's see. Have you ever been to Ricky's Headbanger Ball Store? No, but I will tell you that I've messaged Ricky twice, and he's left me on red, so to speak. I don't know. I see him do interviews with people who have 7 subscribers, but why would you want to be on the most popular show known to man? How would you rate Suzi Quatro as far as celeb status on here? We've never even thought of that. I think it's one of my favorite interviews. I think it's one of the most legendary interviews. I think that Suzi Quatro influenced people like Joan Jett, obviously. She's a great bass player. And, of course, she's Leather Tuscadero on Happy Days. Pinky Tuscadero, you know, the whole Tuscadero family. Anyway, she's great, and that's all I can say. Watch the interview if you haven't. Is Cocksucker Blues worth searching for? It's a good question. I say no. It's depressing. I mean, unless you're a real Stones completist. There's a lot of footage of them shooting heroin, and it's depressing. They're on planes, and they're depressed. And there's a lot of naked groupie. I don't think it's... I think it's a depressing movie, and I don't feel like it's much. But if you're a Stones completist and you really want to see how these kind of clowns would spend their days, it's ridiculous. They had so much time and money and fame and were very addicted. Okay. Donna DeAnda. I'm glad you're here watching live. I appreciate it. Ronnie K, thank you for hanging out with us. I know it's 11:20, you're getting off. Body Talk is always in the set. That one is there. By the way, you guys, feel free to super chat because a man's got to eat. I hate to be that jerk to sit there with the hat out. I feel like this is at the end of the day. Let's pass that damn plate around. But anyway. Dr. Paul, nice work on the Kelly Osbourne story. I give you the credit. I didn't know. And yes, Body Talk, every show. If me and Johnny played together, who would I ask to play drums? It's a great question. I don't know. I'm scared to think about playing with Johnny. Johnny is he's a perfectionist. You know, I am not. I play punk rock and I think music. There is no right or wrong way to play music, at least the type of music that I like. And Johnny, I think, would scold me. But my favorite drummer in Vegas is Blas Elias from Slaughter. He's a friend, and he's an incredible drummer. Anyway, maybe it'll happen. I'll call him. How is Eric looking forward to seeing him at Rocktember? Eric is doing really well. I spoke to him today. He sent me a funny meme. I've seen it before, saying that the tour manager is like riding a bike, but the bike's on fire and it's in hell, and that's an understatement at times. But he's doing good. He's doing good. I couldn't be happier because he's a good guy. We love it raw and uncut. Well, thank you. That sounds like a European adult film, but that is sort of the goal. I try not to slick this up. You get it, warts and all, like Lemmy. Ooh. Every now and then I see a question I really want to answer, and here is one. Bo, do you know Jenny Foster from Princess Pang? I would love to have her on the show. If someone can find her for me, go out there, hire a private eye, and find me Jenny Foster from Princess Pang. Trouble in Paradise, a little band that not as many people know, but I would love to know what she's up to. She was smoking hot, and not that that matters. I think she went on to be a school teacher or something, but let's do that. I'd like to have her on the show. See, some people are just being stupid. Ronnie K, thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. All these things help. And soon, if you're a Patreon, you get to watch the interviews first. As soon as this ends, I'm going to go on and upload Andy McCoy interview for you guys only. I'll send you a link. Now, if you're overseas and you're having trouble watching the videos, pretty soon there will be a new feature on here called memberships, YouTube memberships. It's in the beta testing, but because this is the most successful show of its kind, they've invited me to and then I give me some money too to try this thing out. So, and Mark Sanchez, thank you so much, always being a loyal supporter of this show. Frankie's voice, he's got, you know, it's funny, I thought Frankie had a New York accent, but he is from the Bay Area, and he's got great stories. I hope that we'll have him. I did not see any Morrissey shows while he was here. He usually doesn't play many Smith songs, one, maybe two. And so, but he did wear a Red Fox shirt that said, "You big dummy" on it. All my friends sent me, so I did appreciate that. Will Steven ever do the Vertex stuff? I don't think so. I saw Vertex open for Manowar. I didn't like it. Yeah, I told him. I didn't get it. But that doesn't mean it's not amazing to some. But I don't think, I don't know, but I don't think so. He has a thing coming out called the Legacy record, and he thinks he's going to have all kinds of stuff from his career, so maybe it will be included. Rob, thank you so much for that, and I'm glad you enjoyed the interview. All of you guys, listen, it's stressful. You sit there, you go, I'm going to have Steve on, we're going to talk, people are going to get to see him, and then you have all these technical difficulties, and it's stressful, and I wonder, how bad is this going to be? Are people going to hate this? And I'm glad that you guys hung with me. Whatever happened to Blackie Lawless? He did Eddie Trunk and turned down every interview after that. He had someone book them. I was one of the people booked, and everyone got, he didn't do it anymore. I don't think he wanted to answer any questions, to be honest. Can you have Mike Tramp on the show? I would like that. Somebody send me Mike Tramp's number, and I will have him on the show. Let's see. Almost done for the day. I appreciate all the super chats and all the support. Gonna go find me some dinner, thanks to you guys. Otherwise, and my cat's gonna get some kibble. I usually put her on around this time so I can make people feel bad, but I can't find her right now. So she's probably starving somewhere. I'm just kidding. Cat's well fed. Anyway, this Friday, Andy McCoy of Hanoi Rocks. I will be able to watch that one, so I'll be live in the chat with you guys. And then the following week, Michael Monroe. I will be on the road. I will try to join the chat on that one. It's not easy when I'm on the road. But so, Andy McCoy, Michael Monroe. If you guys aren't Hanoi Rocks fans, I would give it a listen. You might like it. And yes, my cat's name is Bitsy. I don't think there's an E in Bitsy. I think it's Bitsy. I didn't give her the name, but I think that's how it's spelled. Like there's no E at the end of green. Did you see the Jack Russell video? Yes, very sad. Very sad. Whatever, he fell down. If you didn't see it, Jack Russell was on stage. He tried to sit down, and he missed the stool. And Chris, usually you're a nudnik, but you asked a good question. Who was the best Hanoi Rocks interview? So the Michael Monroe one hasn't been done yet. And if you want to ask him a question, join Patreon and ask. I hate to say the best. The one that I maybe be the most excited about was Nasty Suicide, because he does not do many interviews. And a lot of the topics he talked about, he never spoke about before. He never told anyone where he was the day Razzle died, how he found out. And he never talked about why he had to leave the country, visas. there's so much in that interview that I think that is my favorite in that capacity. Sammy Alpha, I know personally. I've worked with him on things, and he's a great guy. And he also was incredibly honest, didn't pull any punches. So for that reason, Sammy Alpha is my favorite interview. Right? I could say this about all of them. And now Andy McCoy is another one. He's doing some interviews, but he's not the easiest guy to talk to because he's the last living rock star. I mean, of those types, Johnny Thunder's types are mostly gone. He is alive. He's like a pirate. And you will see that interview Friday, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So that's my favorite interview. And Michael Monroe hasn't happened yet, but that might be my favorite interview. Anyway, they're all really good. And hey, look at that. Bitsy's getting a steak dinner. Thank you, Steve. Much appreciated. Kibble for Bitsy. She's going to have steak tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed that nasty interview. I was excited. I really didn't know what to expect. You go into the chat and you hope for the best. And he was great. He had a good connection. Steve Sex Summers needs to get a connection like Nasty Suicide. Babylon AD interview members would be a good interview. Derek Davis, lead singer of Babylon AD, is on this show already. And if you go back, he gives a great interview. And the other doors open for the other guys. I'm a fan of Babylon AD. It's one of those bands that maybe it wasn't as big as they should have been. We've kept 100 people in here, and average. I mean, it's been way more over 100 for 2 hours, and so I thank you. Does Andy McCoy talk about shooting gallery? I should say, watch and find out. But yeah, a little bit. We addressed it the last time he was in the United States, which was shooting gallery opening for Kiss, and he does talk about it. Yeah, talks about a lot of things. I think you're gonna like it. And again, if you're not that familiar with Hanoi, now is your chance to become familiar. It's never too late, but you will see that a lot of your favorite bands, like Guns N' Roses, got a lot from Hanoi Rocks. And yeah, okay. Coogan. Would Coogan be a good interview? He's worked with so many. He has great stories. Coogan would be an amazing interview. He tells me he's going to do it. And actually, I just did something for him, so maybe I can talk him to it now. He tells amazing stories, and he does the best Ace Frehley impression. Did you hear that noise I'm hearing? Is sounds like someone's got like a wind chime. Oh, it's my alarm. It's my insulin alarm. Oh, I was like, what is that awful noise? I hope you can't hear it. I have to shoot insulin in a minute, so I'm going to have to get out of here. Yeah. How about that All-Star game last night? You guys watch that? American League wins again, I think 9 years in a row. Giancarlo Stanton of the New York Yankees is the MVP. Hit a monster home run. Very excited. Let's see. Some stuff is really stupid. Great interview with Steve tonight. Thanks for taking another question. Be safe. Thank you very much, Bam Bam. I will tell you, I was not prepared, believe it or not. I figured we'll just chat. I thought I'd be able to see him and we'll have a rapport, and then you guys would ask the questions. So, good music is timeless, is for sure. Dead, Jail, or rock and roll, which is Michael Monroe's solo song. Axl Rose appears in the video. Didn't actually sing on the song, but does sing it in the video, and they played it live before too. If you guys have anything else you'd like to add, feel free to do that now. Otherwise, I'm going to go and take care of some other business. And I've got some, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. It was really a little stressful. I got to edit your tour diaries. I want you guys to watch them more. My mother watches this thing, and she's like, she asks questions like you guys, not quite as stupid as Chris. But she is on there. When's the next tour diary? She's living vicariously through. All-Star game was good, not great, but good. Yes, it was. Well, it was a low-scoring affair, which is odd. You thought there'd be a million home runs, and but I enjoyed it. And I'm a fan of the American League. I'm a fan of the Yankees, so that helped. Green monopolized Hanoi Rocks press pool. Well, yes, I am the only person to have spoke to all 4 members of Classic Lineup back to back to back. Nobody else can say they've done that. It just doesn't happen. They haven't spoke to each other. Well, you better find out. And it will answer the question about what it will take for a reunion, who they say has to be there, who should not. It's all in there. You better watch it. Mike Monroe's never made a bad album. Everything's incredible. He's a talented guy. How many tour diaries are out now? I just saw one. There's only one available right now. So hopefully you'll have another one on Monday. I think the chances are good. If this was a professional operation, come here, Bitsy. If this was a professional operation, you would get to see these things constantly. I would be editing and I would be releasing them on schedule. But, oh, there she is. The star of the show. Look who it is. Say hi, Bitsy. Say hi, Bitsy. Bitsy is 127 years young. And she loves appearing for her adoring fans who super chat. Bitsy, you made good money tonight. We're going to eat good, baby. Steak and lobster. All right, I'll put you down. Good girl. All right, sorry. Bitsy made a rare cameo. Exactly. Bitsy talks, too, in case you guys didn't know. Right, Bitsy? Huh? Cat's got her tongue. Anyway. Here's a great question. Right? Look, this is so funny. I just talked to somebody about this the other day. Andrew Matheson from the Hollywood Brats would be a great to see interview. Let's set that up. Someone find them. Someone I know ran into this guy the other day. Hollywood Brats is supposed to be one of these completely rare bands. Anyway, if you know about that, thank you. I'm glad everyone likes Bitsy. And yes, I got to do my insulin. I'll wrap it up, though, because the alarm is making me insane. I've seen other interviews, and there's like 12 people watching. You have up to 150. Well, yeah, Steve, the Brats. This is the record you have to find. It's not even really great recordings of it, from what I heard. But Hollywood Brats. I'm going to listen to it right after this. I've had a friend tell me about it forever. What were we just going to talk about? Son of a bitch. I wanted to make a point. Son of a bitch. I'm losing my mind, folks. This is what happens. Can't remember. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the tour. If anyone remember what I was saying, tell me and I'll finish my point. Let me just turn this fucking alarm off and then I'll think about what I was saying. Hold on. God, that is annoying. Is the video still on? Fuck. Hold on, Bitsy. It's bullshit. Don't go anywhere, folks. Fucking Jesus. Bunch of bullshit. Hold on, folks. Pardon the mess. Oh, Jesus. This is what happens. I need a staff. And I don't mean like Moses or some shit. I know, Bitsy. I hear you. I know this. All right, my insulin's in the refrigerator, so I gotta do that. I was gonna tell you something so interesting, but I can't remember what the fuck it was. The cat does sound like a duck. That is true. People usually are, oh, what the fuck? Now the fucking camera's frozen. This is ponderous. Fucking ponderous. Ponderous. Jesus. Can't get a fucking break. Try to do a broadcast. Bunch of bullshit. Try to just make a living. Try to get a few super chats. What the fuck? Your browser has lost connection. Oh, fuck yourself. Oh, son of a bitch. I don't know, folks. We might be done for the night. Bitsy, this is bullshit. I know. Bullshit. You think fucking that scumbag Joe Rogan deals with this? I bet he doesn't. But Joe Rogan doesn't eat. He wouldn't care about a cat. He's a cocksucker. Oh, I hope this isn't on. I don't know what is happening. This is such bullshit. I feel like I have his fucking connection now. I know, Bitsy. I know. It's bullshit. Honduras. Oh, son of a bitch. Why don't I just call it a day? Oh, my God. Here we go. Get ready for the feedback. I'm exhausted just from all that. I don't know how you guys watch this nonsense. I was going to tell you about people who have no viewers. Now I remembered because I could hear the sound of everybody clicking the fuck off. Bitsy, listen. You're going to get steak and lobster. These people super chatted. Excuse me. There are a lot of people who do a lot of interviews. There may be too many because I think people figure that this is an easy thing to do. You pop on here and you chat a little bit and people watch. There are some great interviews out there that have 30 or 40 views. A lot of these people don't understand how to do this, and they don't connect with the audience. There's plenty of people who don't like me, and that's okay. You feel free to watch somebody else. But there are some of them that also suck. You know, there's some of them that are just not very good, and they really probably shouldn't be doing this. And I can tell you that the artists feel that way too. These record labels make their artists go and do 100 of these interviews, and sometimes they talk to people in their basement, and they talk to you know, it's frustrating. And sorry, my duck is making noise. And so it's difficult that there's so many shitty interviews out there. And what can you do? Learning how to be successful at this is not easy. That's why there's very few people who have over 1 million views and 10,000 subscribers. It's because there's something that I'm doing here that you guys like. And I'm fortunate because of those numbers to get guests that you guys might want to see. Let's see. I don't like to call out other hosts. One thing is I don't really watch the other ones for a lot of reasons, because I don't want to be influenced by them or not influenced by them or depressed. And so I don't really watch anybody else. I do get a lot of invitations to do these shows myself. I'm not really doing that right now because I don't have anything to promote other than the show, and the show does well. My audience, you guys, are so good that I don't really need to go out and pander. But when I have something to promote, I'll be happy to go on other people's podcasts if they still want me. All right, guys, we've covered it all and more. I'm gonna go shoot my insulin, have my dinner, and feed my cat, and then also we'll have a special guest next week as well. So there's going to be a lot of guests. There's going to be a lot of interviews. There's going to be a lot of hot sauce. Johnny Monaco will be back. Golden Robot Records contest is coming. There's so much to talk about. I'm just getting stressed even thinking about it. So without all of that, and I hate to say it, I'll let Chris have the final word. Too much insulin business. Chris, I enjoy a good reference. Used to play that song all the time in my band, Sin City Rejects. So Chris, on that note, thank you. I'm going to put you in timeout because I know you're comfortable there. All right, folks, we will all. I wish I could stay. You're such a lovely audience. I'd love to take you home, but I got to get out of here. Thank you for watching Friday Andy McCoy, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Patrons watch it tonight. And Wednesdays live, be back on the road, all that stuff. Tour diaries. Oh, I'm exhausted just thinking about it. Thank you. Oh, please subscribe. If you've made it this far, I can't imagine you haven't already, but subscribe. Thank you.